how'd fantasy go? I'm going to be 1-2, 6, maybe 7 this week. I'm going to be 1-1 this week, I think. I was crushing both leagues, but then in my sleeper league, I have 3 Cardinals. And if you watch the Cardinals versus the Titans, that did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I thought off of 10 days of resting in the med bed and then playing the worst team in the NFL, they would do pretty well. They did not do pretty well. But in the other league, I'm crushing it, man. How did Darnold get 4 TDs? 0 of them went to Cooper Kupp. Buddy, listen, I keep talking about how the sleeper league knows ball, but the podcast league does not know ball. Exhibit Z in the podcast league not knowing ball. I'm about to be 4-1. And it's early in the season, don't get me wrong, but I just rinsed the guy that everyone said, be careful about this guy. He won last year. He's a god. I rinsed him. It wasn't even close. And he was doing some shit that I found very churlish, like not setting his lineup, like literally leaving his lineup completely empty until Saturday. Just, I don't know what that is. Is that I'm just leaving my options open, or is that maybe they won't think that I'm there and they won't set their own lineup? Either way, I don't respect that. That's why we're 99% likely to win right now. The exhibit A1 for why the podcast league doesn't know ball, Sam Darnold was on waivers. Someone grabbed him, which is nice, but like Sam Darnold was on waivers, bro. How does this happen? How does a starting QB for a decent team, like I think he got drafted and then he got dropped. I'm not going to grab him. I got 2 good QBs already, but how'd you not get him? Well, like, okay, my other fucking league is where the shit's screwed. But I was smart enough to start CJ Stroud this week. Stroud's been so ass this season, I had him on the bench, but then I was watching Sunday Countdown or whatever it is, and they showed the Ravens' injuries, and it was like their entire defense, including their entire secondary. And I said, that guy's got to be playing today. That guy's got to be out there today. And he was. Fantasy football was more fun when they played all the games on Sunday. Not really, because now there's games on Thursday and Monday, which is, I guess there were games on Monday. What do you mean fantasy football was more fun when all the games were on Sunday? What the fuck are you talking about? Monday Night Football's existed for like 70 years. John Madden was like 8 years old when they put him on the air. Fantasy football didn't exist until like 98 or something. You don't know what you're talking about, man. There is one thing that they need to figure out with fantasy football, though. The playoffs cannot be week 17, man. Because in week 17, all the good players are resting. That doesn't make sense. We set our league to 16. It's better. I guess I should draft worse players if I want my players to play in the Super Bowl. Oh, that's about all I got. I don't get it. If your team if you have drafted players from good teams in the final week of the regular season, sometimes they rest because they've already made the playoffs. They want them to be fresh for the playoffs and not injured. Can we talk about how the Yankees are frauds? That's pretty big talk for someone whose team let them score 7 runs yesterday. Guy who only looks at half of the box score. Damn, 7 runs for the Yankees. They must have dominated yesterday. They must have owned.
Back down we go.
Yeah. And did you see Mika Egbuka's incredible performance against the Seahawks pass defense, man? He's actually goated. It seems insane to me. And again, Dan just taught me what tackles and guards do in football. I previously said some stuff like the game wouldn't change at all if there were no offensive line and defensive line because all they do is cancel each other out. And I still believe that, but I'm being told that it's not that simple. I'm being told that's a reductive take. But I'll tell you one thing, if I was a safety or a cornerback, you're not catching a pass if I'm marking you. Like, it's just not going to happen. You know what the odds are of you catching the pass? The dude throwing it is throwing it from like 30 yards away, up in the air. Everybody can see where it's going. I'm just going to go to where the ball's going to land, stand in front of you a little bit, and then smash the ball out of the way so you can't catch it. Like, it's not rocket science, man. It seems insane that anybody is ever catching a pass. And I mean, especially some of the wideouts I got on my fantasy team. One of my wideouts, Jordan Addison, got suspended 3 games for being caught driving while asleep on the freeway He also got a citation for driving 140 miles an hour. And you can't defend that guy? Like, I don't understand. How can you? It's not like we're talking about Nobel Prize winning strategists here. Just smack the ball out of the way. I don't understand the problem. How are NBA players missing free throws? Okay, that, to be honest, that is the thing that makes me like genuinely be like the ninja tweet of how can kickers just miss kicks. Like, I get when you're kicking from far away. There's wind. Every stadium's like a little bit different. But if your job is scoring a basketball, you should not be shooting 50% from the line. That just doesn't even make sense. Well, like, let me say something. Is it possible that NBA centers are lazy? And they're not beating the allegations that they're just there for their height, bro. Like, Shaq, what did he shoot lifetime from the floor? You can't tell me that it's something to do with like the kinematics of being 7 feet tall that make it harder to sink a free throw. That doesn't make sense. I believe that if Shaq locked in for a summer, he could have gotten his free throw percentage to like 80. But he was like, I don't have to. I'm 7'1", 310 pounds. I literally don't have, just pass me the ball at the basket and I'll fucking dunk it in. No problem, man. We've already been down here before. Try saying that to Shaq's face. I would happily do it, but first I need Angel Reese's phone to get in touch with him. Not her phone number, I need her phone. He has her phone number from what I heard. Hi, Owen. I don't have current day social media references, okay? I gotta go back to stuff that's like, that happened 2 years ago. I rostered you in fantasy basketball. I think it's gonna be a big year for me. Can I tell you, they're calling me, by the way. And this is not just me, this is many people, you wouldn't know them, they're too famous. But Malv started a fantasy hockey league and they're calling me a hero. They're saying, thank you, NL, for saving the fantasy hockey league, thank you. And you say, what did you do? Despite being busy when the draft was gonna take place, I didn't say, hey, can you 12 guys all move the draft for me? The guy who's busy at the time when the draft was originally set. So I wasn't at the draft, and my team is fucked up. I do have an insane goalie tandem. I've got Connor Hellebuck, and I've got Igor Shesterkin. So that's great, but there's some problems. Big problem, I have no defense on my bench. Apparently, during the live draft, almost everybody kind of went hard on defense. So I have a full roster on defense, but if anybody gets injured, we're going to the waiver wire and picking up Lucas Pisa. Need the Phillies to beat the Dodgers? I didn't see anything about the Phillies and Dodgers, except in my Discord, somebody typed, this is what happens to Fraud Tawny when he doesn't get 11 runs of run support. And I said, oh shit, what happened? And then I checked the score and the Dodgers won like 7-4. That was me. You jinxed your own team, man. I was sure they were getting blown out or something, and then they won, man. They won. Did you see the Cardinals collapse? Yeah, unfortunately, because I have Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Trey McBride on my fantasy team. So I was like an 80% chance to win, according to Sleeper. And then the Cardinals game started, and I was like an 85% chance to win. And then the Cardinals game ended, and I'm like a 30% chance to win. What the fuck, bro? The hell are you doing to me, Kyler? Did you see the double turnover play? Well, listen, you know what I'll do here? I wrote a message in the Discord because I was watching the ESPN play-by-play, and I said, can anyone tell me what this means? Let me see if I can find it. Yes, here it is. Can someone tell me what the fuck this means? This was the play description. 52-yard run. K. Beecham reported in as eligible. E. Demercado up the middle for 72 yards, touchdown. The replay official reviewed the runner, broke the play ruling, and the play was reversed. K. Beecham reported in as eligible. E. Demercado up the middle to Tennessee 1 for 71 yards, fumbles, ball out of bounds in the end zone, touchback. And I said, what the fuck does this mean? What happened on this? But like for someone not watching it, I was like, what happened on the, like 20 things happened on this play. It sounded like something like Joe Biden would say at a press conference. K. Beecham reported in as eligible. E. Demarcado up the middle to 10-1 for 71 yards. Fumbles ball out of bounds in the end zone touchback. Like, what is... And then my Discord told me that he threw the ball out of the end zone before he crossed the plane. As a result, his guaranteed touchdown turned into a lost fumble and a touchback that allowed Tennessee to start on the 30 instead of icing the game. It's got... being an NFL coach has to be... Like, I mean, I imagine it's very stressful, but it has to be so fucking funny thinking back sometimes. And you're like, how are you supposed to... You got to talk to this guy and be like, don't drop the ball till you get the touchdown. Don't drop the ball till you... Hey, could you not fall asleep in your car on the freeway? Like, could you not drive 140 miles an hour on the freeway? All you gotta do is catch the ball. Like, you don't have to make it any more complicated than that. He got screamed at on the sideline. I'm not gonna say good, but like, that's... Like, come on. It's not good because it's like just football at the end of the day, but like at the same time, like, you gotta hold the ball when you cross the plane, man. Who's your NFL team? I'm legit Rob Lowe. I don't have a team. I have the players on my fantasy team. My team is Team Northernlion. They're about to be 3-2 in the sleeper league. So yeah, basically my team is like the offense of the Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately. Which is not good, not good. But it could be worse. You could be my trading partner who gave me the Cardinals in exchange for Cam Ward.
Oh.
Nah, actually, the trade was pretty even because I gave him Quinshon Judkins, too. Quinshon Judkins! Let's do this, chums. Know what I'm talking about? 32.3% repeating, of course. My league doesn't even bother trading. It's just crazy to me. Like, me and my trading partner, our trade was great for both of us. We dab each other up like once a week. We say rare win-win trade. First win-win trade in fantasy football history. I'm being serious, man. Everybody else, I don't know if it's just because they grew up playing like Madden or whatever. Everybody else, they just try to fleece you, man. They don't understand that there's gains to be had from trading. I had 3 RB1s, essentially. What am I going to do with 3 RB1s? I could put an RB1 in the super flex, but that's crazy. Plus, there's, bye weeks. It's just I needed a QB. So I traded one of my RB1s for a QB2, who then became my QB1 because my QBs were that bad. That's a win-win trade, man. Everybody else is like, I mean, are you here? Are you here in chat? When I was trying to get rid of an RB to get a starting QB, they offered me Joe Flacco, bro. They said, hey, would you... And I was trading Judkins. I was trading Quinshon Judkins. They said, hey, would you like to trade the run offense for the Cleveland Browns for the pass offense for the Cleveland Browns? I said, no shot, bro. It's an insulting trade. Lose this number. They do think I'm a joke. That's why it was so nice to trade with someone who's like, hey, you got potato chips. I've got gummy bears. You want to do like a 3 chips for a 5 gummy bears swap? I said, bro, that seems positively respectful, man. Gummy bears are worth more than chips. This is why you can't trade, because you have the endowment effect. You hated your team ever since you drafted them. And then all of a sudden, when it comes time to trade, you're like, I don't want to trade this guy. This guy's worth way more than that guy. No, the fuck he isn't, bro. They're both ass. That's why they're on the trade block. I mean, if you think gummy bears are that much better than potato chips, that's fine. What I would say politely, we're not good trading partners. Assuming we're talking about Lay's chips, and I'm not just dragging my hand through the bottom of the bag and giving you the dust. If I'm giving you like 4 pack one, pick one Lay's barbecue chips, I want 5 gummy bears. The chips are way bigger than the gummy bears. So I think 5 bears for 4 chips is a perfectly acceptable trade. But if you don't like that trade, then that's fine. That doesn't mean fuck you. It just means we're not good trading partners. But don't come out here and start offering like 1 gummy bear for 8 chips. Like that shit is going to get you blacklisted. You're going to be a persona non grata, like in a kayak race or whatever. Didn't you say 3 chips before? That was before the chips got 2 touchdowns and 117 yards.
We go.
Last week's price ain't this week's price. Judkins more valuable than a QB? Let's pump the brakes, kid. He's played 4 games. And also, you want to get good players? You got to trade good players, bro. You don't get it because you've conditioned yourself playing Madden against the AI on rookie difficulty, okay?
A graceful fall, if nothing.
They've all played 4 games? No, they haven't, bro. Kyler Murray has played like 100 games. We're talking about lifetime. I'm not talking, it hasn't been 5, he's played 5 games? Okay, how were Judkin's stats week 1? Oh wait, he fucking didn't have any stats week 1 because the Cleveland Browns didn't sign him because the dude was sitting out because he was being investigated for domestic violence. You don't know ball! He's still getting investigated? Yeah. He's not on my team anymore, so I can say anybody that has Quinshon Judkins, man, I see you. You ain't slick. You ain't slick. Some things are more important than fantasy football, man. I wouldn't have that guy on my team after I traded him. If you were a running back, would you guarantee that you held the ball until you crossed the plane? 100%. If I was ever in a position to score a touchdown. But realistically, if I was ever a running back, probably about a 65% chance that I would play 1 snap and be permanently injured and never able to play another snap in history, if I had to guess. It is like, I feel like outside of horse racing, running backs are like the only professional athletes who give kind of like short to average height representation, man. I guess there's some shorties in the NHL too, but every time I see a running back in the NFL and they put their stats up on the screen, I'm like, damn, 5'9", huh? Need me to help you get something from a shelf? 5'10", by the way. I'm 5'10". Need me to help you? Oh, no, don't worry. I'll get that for you. I'll put that back for you. Don't worry. I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". I know what it's like to be 5'9". I was 5'9" when I was 11. It's 5'10" when I turned 12. And then just kind of stuck it out there, I suppose. I'm 6'4". Okay, but like, here's the thing. 6'2" is like the ideal height. No matter what you are as a human being, if you're 6'2", you make it look good. But 6'4" is starting to get to the point where I have to ask you, are you like hot tall or weird tall? Because you can get there. And the percentages, the likelihood changes the higher up you get past 6'2". Weird tall, that's sick though. That's kind of sick. Hot tall is such a North American thing. In EU, being tall is just good, but not a free win. Okay, get a bigger fridge, then call me back, young pup. Who do you like in the Eastern Atlantic this year? I was going to say Jersey, but then I thought you might think I'm talking about the Devils instead of the island that Sips lives on. Don't ask me for hockey predictions. I'm the guy in the 2010s, I was saying the Sharks every year. I was like, they can't not make it. They can't not make it, man. And now I'm doing exactly the same thing, and I'm not going to stop, but I'm doing exactly the same thing for the Leafs. I'm like, they just can't be ass forever. It doesn't make sense. But the odds are. That's pretty good. The odds are they probably will be. They probably will be, man. People were so annoying about the Sharks back then. I mean, they were like really, really good. They were kind of like I guess the analog is they're like the Ravens. They were like regular season superstars, and you were like, there's no way they're going to choke in the playoffs this year or against the Houston Texans. Bills posting, same difference. It's just like who's going to lose to Mahomes this year. I'm in a fucked up position in fantasy. My opponent needs like 18 points or something to beat me. I have no players. They have Patrick Mahomes and the Jags running back. So I'm sincerely rooting for like a 0-0 game tonight. But then also I might watch part of it. So maybe it could be like 15-15 or something. But then the other thing, I know you're going to say, well, if it works out, it works out. There's one problem though. In my other league, I got Mahomes. But in my other league, I have a 99% favorite to win. So anyway, I think we're chilling. Whatever. Who cares? Chibli, you playing fantasy football? No. Fuck you. Who fucking cares? Who gives a shit about any of this, man? Being in multiple fantasy leagues is like gambling on parlays but losing money every time. I really do worry, and I know it's Twitch, so it's not that serious. But how are you losing money every time in fantasy? There's no money involved. So it's not like that. Like, anytime people make an analogy that's like, it's basically like gambling but worse, I'm like, the only thing that's worse than gambling is gacha. Because even when you win the jackpot, you get nothing. Oh, spiritually. Okay, but why are you bringing money? You're commingling money and spirit, bro. That's like a cosmically bad accounting. You can't be doing that. You're going to get audited by St. Peter or something. You can't commingle your spirit and your finances. It's easier to stir the drink of a camel with the eye of a needle. Hello. How did fantasy end up? It was good, man. Here's the thing. I was 30-70 in the sleeper league and I lost. That was expected. I was 99-1 in the podcast league where they don't know ball, and I won, which is expected. I can live with that. Also, it was crazy to me, not to be rude, but how little my Discord knows about fantasy. That one person who posted, oh my God, NL's going to be freaking out over Patrick Mahomes' pick 6. Buddy, it's -2 points. It's -2 points. You don't know, quarterbacks basically cannot get minus points in fantasy. The whole game is rigged in order to make them get like 15 to 30 points per game. You don't know what you're talking about, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, he put up 28. Thoughts on CJ Stroud, 25 for 27, 4 TDs, no turnovers? Well, listen, he was playing essentially like a high school defense, but that's why I put him as in my superflex spot. That's why I put him in my superflex spot. Unless you have Jonathan Taylor, you're not winning the cup. It's so funny that we're letting Colts fans believe that their team is actually good. I'm sorry, I know their record, but we're 5 weeks into the season. The Colts are not good. I don't care what their record is. Look at their roster, man. They're good. Weren't the Steelers like undefeated last year through 6 games or something like that? You don't know ball. They'll probably make the playoffs. Who cares, man? It's football. Everybody makes the playoffs. You watched Thursday Night Football last night? No. I looked at the game and I said, this is a snooze. Eagles walk easily. Well, unfortunately for them, Skattebo runs. Instead, I bought Sportsnet Plus and watched like 7 out-of-market NHL games and then watched the Canucks, the first period of the Canucks game. Then I went to bed and then I put on the rest of the Canucks game on replay while I was on the bike. I do have to, 1 second, let me go to my ESPN fantasy hockey team. I had to apologize to Bear Taffy because he said, I can't believe that Dorofeyev got a hat trick in game 1, you lucky son of a gun. And I said, Bear Taffy, I apologize. Fantasy hockey is so hard to manage your roster that I didn't know that I had him on my team. But there he is. There he is with a hat trick, game 1. 9 fantasy points. How did we do yesterday? Yesterday was Thursday. Igor Shesterkin with the shutout for 10.7 fantasy points. That's big. Dub JT Miller with the 3.5 fantasy points. Dub Vincent Trocheck with the 2.1 fantasy points. But then my stupid ass, I had Dorofeyev on the bench, man, and he scored another goal. Whatever. Oh, Brady Tkachuk with 3 assists. My king. My freaking king. I'm only up by 2.6 points, and fantasy hockey has big swings, but still. I will say also, sorry, this is a lot of sports talk. I apologize, a lot of sports talk. I did have Philly defense in my podcast league. That's not good. That's not a good thing because they got 1 point. Do you bet money on these? No. Something more priceless, bro. Pride. Bro, people are insane in fantasy sports too. The fantasy hockey draft was like a week ago. Why the hell are people going up and down like whole digit percentages in roster already? That seems crazy to me. You drafted Jacob Trouba. He's played 1 game, and now 1 in 100 people said, I'm not fucking with this guy. The season's 82 games long, man. You gotta chill. Don't do something, just stand there. Same thing, like I got Jake Wallman. Okay, he's on injured reserve. Why does he have a 1.2 percentage drop in his rostering, man? He's gonna be on power play 1 or power play 2 for the Oilers. He's probably got turf toe. So here's what you do. You freaking go. I'm going to manage my IR. I'm going to put Jake Wallman on the IR. And then I'm going to go to players. I'm going to add a defenseman. Who's the top defenseman right now that has not been... Brock Besser's not on the team? What were they doing in the fantasy draft, bro? Brock Nelson, Jonathan Marchessault, Brock Besser, Tyler Toffoli, Mason Marchment, they're not on teams, bro? Jonathan Huberdeau, not on a team. Okay. Honestly, okay, chat, what are we thinking? W chat. The top free agent defenseman. Are we taking Matthias Ekholm or are we taking Jared Spurgeon? I feel like I'm bullish on the Wild this year, and not just because they won like 5-0 against the Blues, but I think I have to go with Ekholm just because Edmonton are power play goal merchants. He'll not be getting time on the PP. Fuck! I don't watch Oilers games unless they're getting dummied by the Canucks. Also, I know it's literally game 1. How is it possible that the Oilers lost to the Flames and then the Flames lost to the Canucks? So the Oilers lost 4-3, right? Well, they lost 3-3 in a shootout. And then the Canucks beat the Flames 5-1. Ergo, I'm pretty sure that we're going to beat the Oilers 15-3. If you just you find the common denominator and then solve for X. Flames were on game 2 of a back-to-back. Flames were on fucking year 40 of ass to ass. That's all you need to know about that. Bro's built like Debo. Built like Debo. Debo, that's a good name, man. Debo. Some great names in the NFL. Someone should do a sketch about that. Someone should do a sketch about interesting names in football, man. Honestly, low-key, funniest name in football to me is Pat Freiermuth. Guy named Pat is really funny. I think if I was a Pat, I would go Patrick for sure. Pat Mahomes. I'm not talking about the NFL. Someone needs to ask me how's fantasy. How's fantasy? Oh, really good. I won my fantasy hockey matchup this week. Kind of flicking me yesterday that I had Connor Hellebuck against the Orioles Islanders, and they started Mike Comrie instead. What the hell? What were they thinking, man? I got Connor Hellebuck. You got to start him. Football, I don't know her. I'm not going to say that between my 2 leagues, I have 3 running backs, and they all put up less points than like a flex tight end. I'm not going to say that Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook III, and Krosky Merritt, the law offices of Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, completely let me the fuck down. James did not cook, you're right, and Jahmyr did not Gibbs me any points. And I'm starting to think that he might actually be Krosky Merrittless, to be honest with you. I think he might be Krosky Merrittless because he didn't give me many points either. I should not have taken 3 running backs that all have names that you could easily turn into pejorative puns. Kenneth did not gain well. Well, I don't have him on my team, so that's good for me. But I do have Kenneth Walker, and that's basically what he did, which is not good for a running back. That's not good for a running back. Denounce the Dodgers? No, I'm pissed off at the Blue Jays. They got me to care about baseball a little bit, and now they suck. I don't hate the Mariners. I'm rooting for the Blue Jays. The Mariners would be like my number 2 for sure. So I'm stoked about that. But like the Blue Jays like do something. It can't be that hard to hit a baseball. I'm sorry. You're supposed to root for the Mariners? Well, like honestly, if they were playing anybody but the Blue Jays, I fucking would have. And if your president goes shut the fuck up, I would feel good about rooting for the Blue Jays because I have like West Coast allegiance versus cross Canada allegiance. But that shit has been flipped on its fucking head in the past 7 or 8 months or some shit like that. If you fucking chill out, then I could be posting big dumper with you. But instead, everything is part of the fucking culture war now. Baseball is part of the culture war. So I got to root for the Blue Jays, who are like my number 2 team in the AL, but now temporarily they're my number 1 team, okay? I was rooting for them to beat the Tigers, but I was not rooting for them enough to beat the Tigers to sit there and watch all 15 innings of that game. I stopped watching, I think in the 13th or something like that. I just went, this shit is crazy. That's too much, man. Plus, it was like, I was like 9:15. It's time for bed, man.
Uh-huh.
So
That sounds pretty good.
The crumb sounds good. The crumb sounds good.
I'm going to crumb.
That was his arm. That was Corey's arm breaking in 4 places. he fell over at his desk.
Fred Warner's ankle last week.
Oh, hi-yo.
Oh, hey, sorry.
What happened to Puka Nakua? Am I going to keep starting Puka Nakua? Is Puka okay?
Buca de Beppo?
That's pretty good. That's as far as I know, nothing has changed in the Buca de Beppo situation.
Emeka Egg Boo Boo Boo. You seen that clip, Brian?
I don't think so.
You got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going for over 100 yards. Emeka Egbuka.
It's who's the funny tight end from New England? Gronk. It's Gronkowski, and he's trying to say Emeka Egbuka, and he goes Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka.
At Gronk, is this true? Wait, so there's a real person named Gronk?
Gronkowski.
Gronkowski.
Oh, okay. That's more.
He's a freak, man.
He spiked the ball. I'll be real with you, VIP Daniel. I don't think it really matters how many sodas Cam Skattebo is drinking, diet soda specifically. And I'm not, if people think I'm wishing ill on Cam Skattebo, I'm not. I have eyes, and he's running full speed with his head down into like the chest and stomach of defensive linemen and linebackers. He ain't making it to the secondary. He might have a chance, but he's never had a concussion. Maybe he's just got an incredibly strong neck, man. But I just feel like we can laugh about it now because it hasn't happened yet, but at some point I can't help but feel there's going to be an absolutely horrible clip of Cam Skattebo like just running, having like a helmet-to-helmet collision with somebody, and then like they're not going to be able to play football for like 20, 25 minutes, which if you're the commissioner of the NFL is really bad. I think the part of my brain responsible for remembering celebrity names is just full. It becomes harder to remember things as you get older. Harder is an interesting way to describe that because it actually doesn't get any harder. You just don't do it anymore. You watched NFL for 2 weeks and know half the roster? Yeah, but I don't know how to say it. You can catch me being like Rob Gronkowski. I'm glad Gronkowski took the heat off of me for not being 100% sure how to say Emeka Egbuka. Now that he's done it, I get to laugh at him and be like, can you believe this guy? Who you got in the Unk Bowl tonight? I got one more. Well, the Jays are winning, I'll tell you that much. Because it's going to be a weird series. First 6 games, the away team is going to win. The Jays are winning tonight. There's no doubt about that. Cal Raleigh washed. I'll tell you that. You've seen it. I've seen it. I mean, bro, literally, best he can do is walk. He walks up to the plate. Everyone's like, get a home run. Pitcher does something with his hands, and he resigns. He goes, I don't want that. I'll take first base. Sad, honestly. What happened to my power hitters? I'm thinking tonight, I don't know if this is the Unk Bowl. Is the Unk? I thought it was University of North Carolina, but maybe it literally is Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Flacco because they're both old. Like everybody else, I can't resist an underdog. That being said, when the underdog is the 2025 Cincinnati Bengals, I think I gotta go with the Steelers on that one. I think I'll be betting on the Steelers tonight, metaphorically speaking. Gross? Well, I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals, it turns out, is literally just, like, no disrespect, nobody on the offense is good except for Joe Burrow. And you might say, that's not fair. What about Jamar Chase? What about T. Higgins? Well, like, what have they done ever since Joe Burrow got injured, bro? They've done nothing. One dude getting injured has just taken the whole team out. There's nothing they could do. They have no O-line? I mean, they were doing all right with Joe Burrow. All of a sudden, Joe Hollywood's out. They can't do anything. It tells me everything I need to know. They're one quarterback in a trench coat. Chad, I got a glut of quarterbacks this week. I gotta figure out what the hell to do, man. CJ Stroud versus the Seahawks. Bryce Young versus the Jets. Is Bryce Young a must start versus the Jets, man? Is Kyler Murray even gonna play? Is Mac Jones even gonna play? Maybe I should get Mac Jones off the team. He did me a service when he started and I needed somebody, but Bryce Young has the stats. His team is just bad. The average Bryce Young stat line is like 11 for 17, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 fumbles, 1 recovered, 3 rushes, 11 yards, 1 tackle, 6 yards from scrimmage. Like he gets a stat in every single category. It's out of control. Every time I look at, like, I have Mahomes in my other league. The Mahomes stat line is so elegant. 21 for 25, 2 touchdowns, 1 rush for 9 yards. It's that easy. The Bryce Young stat line, I gotta put on my fucking glasses for. Here we go. Here we go. He gets a tick in every category. It's like he's playing football bingo, bro. Who else you got? The team's not looking that bad this week. Sleeper's trying to flick me, though. They're telling me that Michael Pittman Jr. isn't going to score a touchdown this week. Bro, that's all he does. Michael Pittman Jr. is like buying a money market fund. Every week, he spits out 4 to 8 receptions for 35 to 100 yards with 1 touchdown. That's just what he does. He doesn't explode, but he doesn't wither. He's just catching touchdowns, man. He's catching passes. Of course we're going to be rolling with Michael Pittman. They can't convince me not to play Michael Pittman. Pittman rode my bench all season. Okay, listen, you might be crushing it. You might have the greatest wide receivers of all time. There's also a chance that you don't know ball. You've had Michael Pittman on your bench all season. Here, I'm clicking on Michael Pittman in Sleeper right now. Bro, he's number 17 wide receiver. If you're in a 12-person league, how have you not been playing Michael Pittman Jr. when he's the 17th best wide receiver in the league? He's a WR2. Mathematically speaking, he's a WR2, and you're not finding a spot to fit him in between 3 wide receivers and 1 flex position? That's insane. You don't know ball. You don't know ball if you've had him on the bench. Now, I'm a fucking asshole too, because every week I go, am I going to start Zach Ertz this week? Or am I gonna keep going with my man, Trey McBride? And I keep going, nah, Ertz, there's no shot, man. He's had his chance. And then he breaks out for 18 points. He's the number 12 TE this year. Meanwhile, Trey McBride, he's the number 4 TE. Actually, it turns out I know ball. Turns out I got him in the right spot. Turns out I've been doing the right thing there on the TE position. All right, never mind. I'll tell you one thing though. T. Higgins is staying on the fucking bench. What is it? Wide receiver 44. He could be better with Flacco. He wasn't last week, bro. He wasn't last week. What are your squats looking like? 90 minutes, 222 watt average, about 1,210 kilojoules today. Thank you for asking. It's actually been kind of a crazy week. Let me take a look at the ledger here. 10:15, 11:69, 10:19, 11:45, 12:10. Like we've been pumping this week, man. We've been pumping. Sounds like the Blue Jays scores. Hi-yo, crazy inning. Cal Raleigh, 2 balls. He's only got 2 missed balls. Wait, they call him the catcher. And yet, on that 1 run, he did not do that. He did not live up to the title. I'm sorry to say. Also, big ups to the Mariners manager for subbing out the pitcher in a bases loaded situation, and then the reliever comes in and walks a run home. Manager of the year, I would say. That's right. I'm a hater. He got out of it after, though? Did he go? Well, yeah, well, they must have had a great game then. Let me just go check here. ESPN.com, MLB, 8-2. I'd 8 to be a Mariners fan right now after that, to be honest with you. Especially if you paid the kind of money they were asking for ticket prices to get into T-Mobile Park. That's actually the top Reddit comment. Great minds think alike. Maybe baseball is kind of sick, honestly. I didn't realize that you could reject being subbed out as a pitcher if you just beat the manager in the marketplace of ideas. I didn't realize the manager could be like, hey, I'm taking you out of the game. And you could be like, no, you're not. That's sick, man. Who you got in Blue Jays Mariners tonight? Last night I was 100% obvious. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you thought the Mariners were going to win, you're not paying attention. Tonight I don't feel anything on the wins. That's scary for me. I feel like Doctor Strange when he doesn't have the eye of Agamotto. I don't feel anything on the wins, so I don't feel confident making a guess. I also got Thursday Night Football wrong. Sorry guys. I forgot Aaron Rodgers fucking sucks at not throwing interceptions. That's my bad. Also, it's flicking me because I had T. Higgins on my bench. And you're going to say, why'd you have T. Higgins on the bench? Because it's fucking week 7 and he hasn't done anything. He didn't do anything until last night. Stop killing me! I don't know why I'm losing! I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, someone in chat was saying that's what happened with me with Pat Freiermuth. It's crazy, man. I don't respect a QB who only throws to his tight end, bro. That's what the wide receivers are there for. Sorry, Jalen Hurts. No disrespect to, I don't even remember, Dallas Goddard, but like, air it out, man. AJ's right there. Jeremy Shockey moment. I know Jeremy Shockey, mid 2000s tight end for the New York Giants. You thought I wouldn't know Jeremy Shockey. I know Jeremy Shockey. But excuse me, Eli also had Plaxico Burress until he accidentally shot himself in the leg at a club. Jeremy Shockey. Okay, that's pretty good. It was his foot? Yeah, and the foot bone's connected to the fucking... Which is connected to the fucking... Exactly. I said what I said. Bro had the safety off with the gun in his sweatpants. I'm wide receivers are so coming back to the NFL after like basically 20 years away. Some things never change. Frozen 2 was right. Wide receivers they got a certain different type of mentality than the other NFL positions. Oh, I'm gonna be in there like I get it now.
They won the minigame, but will their luck
He's like
hold
Neo
out?
when he just stops the bullets.
You gotta be shitting me.
Sorry.
You gotta be shitting me.
That golden brick has allowed them to pull ahead.
Is it honestly? This is exactly what it's been like against Ryan in the hockey pool so far. All his freaking players just keep getting hat tricks, and he gets bonus points from it.
You're telling me, brother, fucking week one.
You're like, oh, Horvat, come on.
Non-stop nonsense.
Oh, I do have Bohr, man. He got a hat trick last night.
I told you. And he won't trade me Connor Hellebuck because he's a jerk.
Why didn't you draft him, bro?
I went dead last. I couldn't.
Oh, that's right.
You got Drassel. That was pretty good.
Excuse
I
me,
got Draisaitl,
Draisaitl.
Draisaitl, sorry.
Well, he's kind of been a bum so far too. So
On the Fraudlers.
Well, I'll take him off your hands if you don't want him. Need a Bobrovsky on your team?
Now, what will our final
honestly, at
contestant
least he's
wouldn't
getting some
turn it down.
freaking points.
Bobrovsky. I only took him because I like shouting Bobrovsky.
They used to be a meme on the hockey Reddit.
Yeah,
Turn
it was
in your
the-
badge and your gun, Bobrovsky. You're off the case.
What's his name? Y'all's Sports Center anchors.
Oh,
love
Jay
those
and
two.
Dan.
Yeah, they were great.
Are you fucking kidding
Or as
me?
they call them now, Jay.
right?
Dan O'Toole is in Bet Rivers hell. He is in Bet Rivers hell. Oh man. He is filming ads for like the 8th most popular online casino in Canada.
Oh no!
Whoa, fucking booty, dude.
Oh damn!
That's Keyshawn Booty, dude.
There's a lot of it.
Dude, I need him to ball the fuck out this
No,
weekend. I'll tell you
I've
that
already
much.
won. Give up.
No!
Sit your players.
You do have Jamar Chase on your
It's
team.
player one.
You do get 40 points.
It's really funny.
I also have Evan McPherson who got 17 points as a kicker.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Saving grace is the Steelers D at least.
Wanna
I have
try
a
stopping this
feeling
guy?
that one of our contestants is gonna
And I also have Rashee Rice's first game back against the Raiders. I think you're
Yeah, he's
cooked,
gonna
man.
break his leg on the first play.
Okay, I mean, it couldn't happen
He's
to
probably
an
going to
accident.
get arrested for driving his car at 212 miles an hour in a school zone.
Yeah, or that.
So Apollo mentioned it that he and I have insane fantasy matchups for whatever reason. Let me set the stage real quick for last night's game.
Well, no, talk
which-
about last year's game first because it helps leads into
You
this.
got to remind me of that, honestly.
So
'cause
last year it was
on the details.
I was ahead by Bear by like 51 points. And he had one player left.
Oh, that's right. That's
And it
right,
was
yep.
Josh Allen on
Yep.
either Sunday or Monday Night Football. And I was like, well, Josh Allen's not going to score 51 points. Josh Allen scored 50 points because he did that double, the throw and
yeah,
the
that's
back
right.
for
Yeah.
2 touchdowns thing.
yeah.
Fuck,
And
dude.
Bear
Oh.
lost by 1 point in that game. Now that leads
So-
into fucking this
Yeah,
week's game.
I'm very glad you brought that up because that is an even better setup. Because holy shit! So last night, this is the final game of fantasy, of course. Which the game starts at fucking like it's
9
8
p.m.
It was so
Goddamn,
stupid. I fell
it's
asleep on it.
ridiculous, dude. It was over at like 11:30 my time, which is
Yeah.
so insane. Anyway, Apollo was up 157 to 136 in our fantasy game. Already I'm mad because like 130, 140, you should win. Like that's a pretty good score any given week.
I still had Mike Evans to play too.
You still have Mike Evans,
So
right?
I was like, "There's the only way I lose is if Mike Evans dies."
Whoops.
Yep.
You're the reason. This is why.
Well, there's no way the Texans defense scores 20 points. There's no way.
So like box checked first off with Evans is like, okay, that sucks, but hey, good for me. I've got a chance. Halfway through this game, all of a sudden, Houston recovers the fumble for a touchdown. I'm like, I type in our group chat. I'm like, Houston miracle, Houston D miracle alert ?
That woke me up. I saw that message on the toilet before bed. I was about to go to bed. I pulled my phone and saw it and went, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
So like still though, like 10 points ish behind. It's like, okay, yeah, it's pretty damn unlikely. Still probably gonna need another touchdown. Then the game.
I can take it over from here because I turned the game back on at this
yeah.
point. Because I was like, no, like I know what's about to happen. I turned the game back on the second I turned the game back on. It's literally like midnight. All right, I was in fucking underwear. I had just taken a shower. I was ready to go to bed. I turned the game on. As I turn it on, strip fumble by the Texans defense. 3 more points is it for fumbles? I don't remember.
2, I think. 2.
2 more points, and now I'm like, oh my fucking god. At this point, like Bear is only behind like 6 points, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, well, if they get a defensive touchdown, which is really unlikely, like I'm fucked. But surely that doesn't happen. The Texans then proceed to be completely unable to score, so they immediately turn the ball back over to the Seahawks. What do the Seahawks do with like 8 minutes left? Surely they'd run the ball up 2 scores. They run the ball, right, guys, and just run the clock out. No, drop back the pass. Fucking Sam Darnold throws an interception right to the Texans defense. 2 more points for Bear. I'm like,
4.
fuck. No, at this point, I did the math. You're down by 2 at this point. You're down by 2 points only. So 1 more turnover and it's fucking done.
Yep.
And then of course, like I started to get so scared because the Texans get the ball and they get the ball down to the 1 yard line. So they're at the 1 yard line about to score. They then go first down throw, second down throw, third down run, and then fourth down. They're at 4th and 1, and I'm like, oh my god, I know what's gonna happen here. I know what's gonna happen. It's 4th and 1. The Texans they're gonna run the ball and they're not going to get into the end zone, and then the Seahawks are gonna get fucking safety because they're at the 1 yard line and I'm gonna lose on a fucking safety. Like I started to see that vision in my fucking head. But luckily, thank God, false start. So it's 4th and 6. They then fail the 4th down, and at least the Seattle Seahawks are on the 6 yard line instead of the 1. So I'm like, okay, surely now we run the ball, guys. Now we run the. Why are you dropping back the pass? He gets sacked at the 1 fucking yard line, man. Now it's a 1-point game. What are you doing, Seattle? Run the fucking ball. The game would have been over by now. Oh my god! And now he's punting
157 to 156 with
now they're punting.
10 more possession.
They're punting out of the back of their end zone on the 1 yard line, so they have to do that like short, stubby punt, right? Like in my head, I'm like, oh my fucking god! They might take an intentional safety to avoid like a blocked punt or something, and a touchdown. They might take an intentional safety. Somehow they get the punt off. Somehow, and at that point, the game basically ends because Houston can't do anything. But holy fuck. The final score 157-156.
Like we know that listening to other people's fantasy stories isn't interesting, but
It's
like
way
come
more
on,
interesting
like,
than the football
that
game.
Well,
was
that's also the
insane.
football game, honestly.
Yeah,
I was having like fucking heart palpitations because they like every time Sam Darnold dropped back, the Texans defense got more points for the whole 4th quarter. He either got sacked or intercepted. And I was like, just run the fucking ball.
How was Fantasy King? We're like 1-1. We're 1-1 this week. We're gonna win in the sleeper league. We're very likely to lose in the podcast league. If I may be so bold, we got a problem in the podcast league. Puka's injured. That's enough of a problem in and of itself. James Cook III is on a bye. Like my whole bench is either 0 points or on injured reserve. So I really need I need some crazy performances. I have Mahomes, I have Olave, but even that's not enough. Also, Apollo, Grima Wormtongue, Sunday morning at 5 a.m. he says, bro, you should get Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell's still available. Tutu Atwell's available, and he'll do super well because Puka's injured. So I claim him off waivers. Bro got 0 points, 0 receptions, 0 catches, 0 looks, 0 yards. I don't really blame him because in that spot I had Thornton. I don't even know his first name, but it starts with a T on the Chiefs. So I took Thornton out and I put in Tutu Atwell. And Thornton got like 5 points or something like that. So I genuinely, I can't wish ill on Apollo. He took me from 5 to 0, and that's unlikely to make a material difference. That's not his fault. If Thornton had picked up 70 yards and a touchdown, that would have been a problem. But then in the other league, it's not even close because my opponent is the guy who went AFK at the draft. And then the commissioner just drafted funny names. But it actually turns out like I think they're like 2-4 or something like that. I think they're 2-4 right now. Let me see. It turns out that you can actually draft like a pretty decent team just by picking football players with, let's say, unconventional names. You got Hawk Tua, Tagovailoa, Rico Dowdle, Cam Skattebo, Cooper Kupp, Waddle, Hawkinson, Xavier Legette, Michael Penix Jr., Chubb, Chuba Hubbard, Malik Neighbors, Tesla. They got Braxton Strange. They honestly made a pretty good. They made a pretty good team, all things considered. That being said, they're going to get creamed regardless, and they're going to get creamed because Addison popped off, Trey McBride popped off, everybody popped off. I didn't even start T. Higgins this week. We still popped off. Oh God, he's already on sports. Sorry I interrupted pre-chat asking for some shit that they watched when they were 10 years old on YouTube 15 years ago to talk about some shit that happened yesterday. My bad. Sorry I interrupted the 3-day-long circle jerk of maybe he'll play Desperate Housewives tomorrow. Maybe he'll go back to Grey's Anatomy tomorrow. Sorry, the weekend is for pre-chatters. The weekend is the breeding ground for like illness before the antibiotics hit on Monday. You ever see those videos of like, here's what happens to a colony of bacteria when someone puts a drop of Purell on the slide and it looks like some shit that would happen in the opening cinematic of a Fallout game? That's docket theory crafting for 48 hours when one drop of new banter hits. No, my 100 comments about Rumbleverse. Bobby Cox, by the way, the Yankees 2.0, you call them the Mariners, I call them the Yankees 2.0 because it pisses them off. I shouldn't even say this because Blue Jays fans are going to hate this because Game 7's tonight. I shouldn't give them the keys, okay? Yankees 2, a.k.a. Mariners, is someone going to tell the pitchers that you have to throw strikes at some point? If you just keep throwing balls, you're going to walk batters. You're going to load the bases. Cal Raleigh, very good at stopping the ball during the regular season. In the playoffs, not the best. The runs are coming in on wild pitches and on errors, trying to throw to third base to throw out the fastest base runner in baseball, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. They gotta throw some strikes at some point, man. They gotta throw some strikes. Vladdy has 6 home runs and 2 strikeouts in the playoffs. He kind of has some aura. You know when I really respected Vladdy is when he got hit on the elbow, and obviously that's a walk. Just again, I've got to tell the Seattle pitchers, I'm sorry, Blue Jays fans. You're also not supposed to hit the players with the baseballs. I know it might seem like in Super Mega Baseball sometimes you just get pissed off and you try to like light them up a little bit just to get some aggression out. But you got to stop hitting the players with baseballs. It puts the players on base. But then Vladdy gets to first base and he still does like the bless up with the first base coach. And I was like, that's a gamer right there. He was not like, I can't believe they hit me. I wanted to hit a home run. He got smoked by the ball, went to first base, and then did the celebration. A little bit more reserved. He did it a little bit more reserved, but still. Springer's knee sounded like it exploded. Hey, listen, I'm not John Schneider. If you couldn't tell from our the different, well, I do, when I get angry, I do get a little bit John Schneider mode. I do go a little FF0000, to be fair. But I don't know if he can play George Springer in Game 7. I know he doesn't want to come out of the lineup, but have you seen him try to run after he swings? Like, I think that he might have like a golf ball sized abrasion on his knee with like 2 bandages over top of it with an X. And like if he pulls up his pants, I'm sure it would be going like pa-pum, 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 something like that. Anyway. Well, he spent 30 years as the Braves manager. Bobby Cox managed this current day AL East team. They lost the first ever ALCS to go to 7 games. That's interesting because of what's happening recently. I know that the Blue Jays played in a Game 7 in 1985, and they're in the AL East, so I'll give them a chance. Why not? I don't know if Bobby... It makes perfect sense, man. It makes perfect sense. The 1-6 Saints... Bro, forget that. Did you see what the fucking... Well, the Saints are funny because I can't believe they're just going to roll Spencer Rattler for the whole year, man. I mean, what are they going to do? And then you look at the rest of the depth chart and you're like, well, I guess I get it. But then what the hell's going on with the Dolphins, man? I thought they were going to beat the Browns by 2 scores. Browns D is good. Let's do this, chums. Kinshawn Judkins. Wait, did he just run in there? Can I say something, by the way? Fantasy football, cutthroat. Fuck you, you try to fuck you, fuck me. Fuck me, I try to fuck you, you fuck me. Fantasy hockey, let's all have a good time here. And you're going to say, what do you mean by that? I offered Bear Taffy a trade. I offered John Tavares in exchange for Elias Pettersson, okay? Bear took the deal. And I said, yay, I have more players from the team that I watch on my team. So now when I watch hockey, I'll also be watching fantasy. Then Mouth, who is a Winnipeg Jets fan, said, hey, I'll give you Vasilevsky and Brock Faber for Connor Hellebuck and Jacob Trouba. And I said, you know what? Bear did me a solid. He gave me a player from my team. So I said, okay, Mouth, you get a player from your team now. You can watch Connor Hellebuck play, and I'll have Vasilevsky on my team. Traded for a Wild player. I like the Wild this year. And don't tell me that they're like 2-5 or whatever. They're gonna get there. So it's still early, small sample size. Heckin' wholesome, exactly. Also, Mouth and I need to trade because I've won both of my games so far. I'm 2-0, but I'm being outscored by like 100 points by the other teams that are 2-0. So I'm in a lot of trouble once some shit starts to, once I start to play the people that really know what they're doing. For now, I've played Bear and Mouth, and we've been having it's been like, we're sparring a little bit. Hey, there's one coming on your left. Get ready, block. But the real bloodthirsty players are coming up in the schedule. What NFL game were you watching? My sports package gets MLB, NHL, curling, lots of curling, gets some MMA fights, gets poker, gets NBA when the NBA starts. The only thing it doesn't get is the NFL. So I watch whatever is on TV. So I saw a little bit of Chargers Colts, I think. Trying to think of I didn't have much sitting down time. We were outside a lot yesterday, but I watched a little Chargers Colts. And the reason I didn't watch the morning games because the Canucks are playing the Capitals at 9:30 a.m. And I went, I'll watch it even though it's like the Canucks are playing their 3rd game in 4 days. It's a road trip. They won the last 2. And it's an early EST game, which is a recipe for we're going to get fucked. And then we were up 4-0. Honestly, no disrespect, Spencer Carberry, so-called coach of the year last year. The NHL should investigate the Capitals for tanking. Because the fact that we were up we won 4-3, but the fact that we were up 4-0 at any point in that game, given the extenuating circumstances, means we need to investigate that team for tanking. Something's not right. Center depth got fucked. Yeah, I was laughing too because I was on ESPN Fantasy and they were like, here's some trade targets. And they said, Elias Pettersson's been underperforming. Consider trading for him in fantasy. But then they used a picture of the wrong Pettersson, bro. I was like, they've really got Just chat GPT in a trench coat running the ESPN NHL fantasy section, huh? It was a picture of a guy whose face I've seen twice in my whole life. We had 3 Pedersens. We do it. We got 3 Pedersens is one thing, but then 2 Elias Petterssons and 1 Marcus Pettersson is really funny. It's also funny because one of them is Elias Pettersson and the other one is Elias Pettersson. Like, I honestly feel like John Shorthouse, who is our play-by-play announcer, deserves some kind of lifetime achievement award. But especially this year, he should win like broadcaster of the year because he never flubs the Petterssons. He gets Elias, he gets Elias, he gets Marcus. He never gets them confused. Then we've got like a Lekeramaki. We've got Will Sasson, who I've been saying Sasson for like a year and a half, ever since I became aware of his existence. Turns out he is not French. He's just a guy. Atu Ratty, who I still don't even know how it's pronounced. I think it might be, it's not Will Sasso. Will Sasso! Max Sasson, you're right. It's Atu Ratu. I'm going to ask him if this is okay. I'm going to start calling him the droid because it sounds like R2-D2. I think that'd be a fucking sick nickname. If he pops off 20 goals this year, I'm going to call him the droid. The droid line. Who is he on a line with? Anybody that we could change to be C-3PO somehow? Kiefer Sherwood? K-3PO? Good work. The droid. Oh, Archdeep Baines and Carlson, they're already calling them the AHL line. Fuck. How about the George Springer home run? I'd like to apologize to my best friend, George Springer. It turns out chatters were right. I thought he should sit for Game 7 because his knee was broken, and in every at-bat in Game 6, he could not run. But it turns out you don't need to run if you just hit a home run. Good thing you're not the coach. Okay, literally the manager makes personnel decisions, but go off, I guess. You know what's cool about baseball? I love when they sub someone in, and then that person has like a little note card in their pocket with notes on the hitters. They're out there like 300 feet away from home plate, squinting at like a tiny little index card, being like, oh, Julio Rodriguez is at the plate. Let's move 6 steps to the right. That's cool, man. That's fucking cool. You went 2-0 in fantasy with Gibbs' performance? Nah, I won Sleeper easily, but the podcast league I ran into trouble. Because I did have 3 people that scored 30 points on my team, but then the rest of my team scored like 2 points because they're all injured or got injured in the game. But so I lost, but it was a crazy loss. It's crazy to lose with Mahomes, Gibbs, and the Lave performing as they did, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Lankinen struggling a bit. I'll just level with you. I mean, the Canucks are doing about as expected because they busted off 3 wins in a row before last night. Last night might be the platonic, disideal, the worst possible Canucks game. They scored on their first shot of the night and then let in 5 goals over the next 3 periods and scored 0 more goals. You would have actually been big up if you saw Connor Garland score on the first shot and then turn the TV off. Dude, the baseball is really funny. It's really funny. Because the Peloton Discord had a bunch of people in there that were watching like their first game of baseball ever. So they were asking questions like, can Shohei Ohtani, like why is he the DH? Why can't he play first base? Is he not good enough? And then everybody was like, anybody can play first base. Literally, like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a baseball glove can play first base. All you got to do is stand on the bag and extend your arm, bro. So they were asking, like, and not to insult them, but they were asking, like, you know, first grade level questions about baseball. Who knew? Who knew at the time it would be 6 hours and 20 minutes long, man? We got people in the Peloton Discord that watched the entire baseball game and then woke up and they were like, I'm really tired. Bro, you don't start like that. You don't start with that. You start with T-ball. You start with a 3-inning T-ball game that ends either 0-0 or like 12-12. And then you move on from there. I stayed up until 3 a.m. and then had a 7 a.m. meeting. Honest question. Are you a Jays or a Dodgers fan? Because if you're not a Jays or a Dodgers fan, you just got to go to sleep on that one, man. I think I went to sleep after the 11th inning, and I fell asleep right away. Big week in fantasy, by the way. It was by Mageddon. Still won both leagues. I don't even want to talk about what I did in the podcast league. I feel like a bad man because I was playing my good friend Bear Taffy, and he had Bijan Robinson and Jordan Mason, and combined they put up like 6.4 points. And I don't remember who I had, but they mogged somehow. Like Jalen Waddle got triple the points of his 2 RBs put together. And he waddled away, waddle. And then in the other league I won, even though my running backs put up 4 points total and my opponent had Saquon Barkley, man. Just luck, pure luck. Get it twisted. Or maybe I'm just the best to ever do it. I had some good waiver wire pickups. You cursed Skattebo? No, I didn't. Have you seen the way he runs? Honestly, having his ankle severed at the Achilles tendon might be the best thing that's ever happened to him from a like neurological standpoint. It's going to save him from getting a like career-ending concussion. He should be stoked that his foot broke instead of his head, man. Also, who's saying Saquon's on the downslope? Okay, I mean, yeah, he's not performing as good as he did last year, but it's kind of crazy to say that after he put down like 31 fantasy points last week, man. Like you're not even watching the game. You're just a box score viewer or something. What are you talking about, man? That's you, man. I watched. No, I don't think I watched any this weekend. But I didn't have to. All I know is it's simple. I had a crazy good luck on my reroll. I had a crazy buff on Bryce Young. He had DOUB next to his name. That's right, double points. Fortunately, he scored 0, so that's not good. But I had him on the bench anyway. Unc was on double XP weekend, calling a dude Unc when he's like half your age is pretty good. Unc was on double XP weekend, man. Slots and Daggers is out, y'all. We're going to play Slots and Daggers. Sorry, I'm crashing out because the chat does not know ball. Someone said even CMC is better than Saquon. You literally took like 2 of the best running backs in the game, and you're like, one's better than the other one. The other one must be washed. Just for a timestamp, Saquon put down 31 points in fantasy this weekend, man. And now, like, everyone was real quiet when he actually sucked, but this week he was doing some crazy work. I think CMC might be like the highest scoring player he's like the number 1 by flex rankings right now. And you're like, even he's better than Saquon? Well, even Wayne Gretzky. Oh, okay, Jonathan Taylor had a great game. You're right. He's no James Cook, though. He's no James Cook, at least this week, who I had in my other league. Drake May or Josh Allen? I mean, you gotta run Josh Allen. Although, who did the Pats play this week? Begrudgingly, I got to admit the Pats are more for real than I thought they would be. Patriots are number 1 in their league. European spotted, football opinion discounted. It's called a division. Over here, it's called a division. I wouldn't expect you to understand that, though. Because you're the type of people, you look at the standings, and you don't call it standings, you call it a table. Who's top of the table? I don't know. I'm sitting on a chair, bro. I put the food on the table. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, is what I'm trying to say. They're calling me the only honorable fantasy football player, by the way. Someone in our league put Drake May on the trading block, and I know they needed a running back, and I said, hey, what do you think about Kyler Murray and Kenneth Walker III for Drake May? And he said, I got to think about it. And then I thought about it, and I said, I'm taking the offer off the table. And the reason I'm taking it off the table is I don't think my offer is good enough. I think you're going to be disappointed. Because Kyler Murray's got his problems, don't get me wrong. Plus, he's out right now. Kylo's out with a broken lightsaber. And Kenneth Walker III is like you flip a coin, and he's either getting you 18 points or 2. Because they I don't know what it is, man. It's like streaming with the fellas. KW3 is doing all the work. He's getting 7 dudes on him and still managing to power through for a first down. Then it's 1st and goal on the 2. That's when you feed the running back to say thank you for giving up like 8 of your tendons to get us to this point. And then they bring in some French dude, and they hand the ball to some French dude, and he just waltzes right in for the touchdown. How do you find optimism and joy in life? I'm a Panthers fan. Florida Panthers or Carolina Panthers? So that's a big, if you're a Florida fan, you're doing all right now. I would say watch the games if you're a Florida fan. Up until 2 a.m. watching the Jays. No, I'm like, no disrespect. I was going to say I'm smarter than that. But the truth is, If this had been like a Canucks Stanley Cup final and it went to 4 overtimes, I would be like, I'd be glued to the screen. But I'm a Johnny come lately, or sometimes not at all, to the Blue Jays. So I had the luxury of, once it went to inning 12, I said, I'm going to bed. No, thank you. Is Mookie Betts the most baseball name ever, or what? Honestly, with his last name, he would fit in more in the NBA these days. Are you kidding me with this? Are you kidding me, man? What is he doing? Chauncey, what are you doing, man? Did you like how they didn't identify him in the documents? But they were like, he's a former player who played from 1995 till 2010 and won a championship as a member of a team and then has gone on to coach in a city on the West Coast. They like literally were like, I'm not going to name names, but it's this guy right here. How much of the population is now Howard from Uncut Gems? Like 2%, because Howard actually watched the games. Howard had some shit going. That's why if you're a gambler, you should aspire to be Howard. A, he won an 11-way parlay. Dude went balls in. He bet on the tip-off. Imagine having an 11-way parlay. Oh shit, that's huge. And losing on the tip-off. You'd be like, just turn the TV off, bro. Also, he had a lot of shit going on in his life, and even though he had a lot of shit going on in his life, he still watched the game that he bet on. That's why the population can't be Howard anymore, man. Thoughts on the Giants game? Thoughts on the Giants game? The Giants? Thoughts on the Giants? The New York Football Giants. I didn't watch it, but I do. You know, I'm pouring one out for Cam right now. Although I still think. I'm like the type of guy that looks on the bright side. And I really feel like he one day will be pleased that his severed ankle saved him from a catastrophic traumatic brain injury. The ankle injury might be one of the best things that's ever happened to him, to be honest. As long as it doesn't end his career, in which case this is going to age badly. Those Chauncey buffs, though. Dude, I was laughing when I saw the texts from, was it Daniel Jones? You'd think, you always, as a kid, you assume like the criminals are like sophisticated. They're texting like code words and stuff to each other. He's literally texting like, yo, LeBron's out, put a big bet on the other team. And then like the next text is like, don't forget to place a bet big enough that I can eat too. Like it's... It's so good, man. They're literally just texted like, do crimes. 76ers 4-0, not too late to get on the train. Damn, dude, VJ Edgecombe, man, who knew? He's pairing so nicely with Tyrese Maxey that it doesn't even matter that Joel Embiid plays 3 games a season for load management. Who knew, man? Who knew? Unfortunately, I don't know shit about ball because I was watching baseball last night. Ooh. Oh, what the hell happened, man? They got Shohei Ohtani striking out. Now, to be fair, I don't watch a lot of baseball, but of like the 5 baseball games that I've watched, maybe like 7 baseball games that I've watched this year, that was the worst ump that I think I've seen. And that I didn't see in game 2 where Bo Bichette got thrown out on a weird play because the umpire didn't call the strikeout for like 90 seconds after it happened. But like the umps were having some issues last night for sure. Who that say gonna beat them Saints? I'm sorry, by the way. The Loop, if you're here, I feel bad for you. Because I know I suggested maybe we could make a trade for T. Higgins. I don't think I want to take Alvin Kamara. I want one Saint on my team. And it's Olave. If it's not Olave, I don't want anybody on the New Orleans Saints on my team, I'm sorry to say. What if he gets traded? I don't think anybody wants Kamara. If Olave gets traded, he probably gets worse in fantasy, but like he deserves to be someplace where he can actually maybe win some games. T. Higgins' value too low to trade right now? You don't know ball. First off, his value was low 3 weeks ago. He's become revitalized under Joe Flacco, which makes it a good opportunity to sell if If you have a glut at wide receiver, which I do. So let me explain to you my wide receiver situation. There's two non-negotiables. Pittman Jr. gets started and Pickens gets started. They're like WR3 and WR7. I got very lucky scooping them in the draft. There was no skill involved whatsoever. So those two are non-negotiable. Then I got two wide receivers duking it out for wide receiver 3. One of them is T. Higgins, and one of them is Marvin Harrison Jr. In order to improve a little bit at RB2, and I think we'd all agree T. Higgins is better, but Marvin Harrison Jr. has no trade value whatsoever. The reason he has no trade value is because he has the narrative is working against him. The narrative is he can't catch passes, he drops all the passes, and secondarily, as long as Jacoby Brissett is throwing the ball, nobody's going to catch the passes. So don't even worry about that. But if Kyler's back, we got Marvin Harrison Jr. against the Cowboys, the lowest ranked pass defense in the game right now. I'd rather move on from Higgins. I'd rather move on. I'd love to package Higgins and either Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, the law offices of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, or Higgins and Kenneth Walker III to pick up a more consistent RB2. My RB2 situation is not that bad, but I could use a higher floor. I could use a higher floor on my RB2. There's no shot I'm moving on from Pickens. I'm sorry. You get rewarded. You get that's the reward that Pickens is going to get? I don't think so. Anyway, the other thing is I can hodl. Doesn't bother me at all. I'm comfortable with my team. I know what I got. Serious offers only. No Saquon for you? Bro, I don't want Saquon. I can't afford Saquon. Who would I love? I got to think about that. I just love somebody who's a consistent RB1 on their team to slot in as RB2. Our 14-team league is so deep, I checked the fantasy Reddit buy, hold, sell thread. Every single player mentioned is on a team. Dude, VIP Daniel, you're not joking. The waiver wire in the podcast league has like 11 starting quarterbacks that have no team. They have like starting running backs that are not on a team. They have like top 40 wide receivers who are not on a team that you can just pick up on the waiver wire. I go to the waiver wire in Sleeper, and in Sleeper it's like if they announce that a quarterback is injured, the backup gets picked up in like a millisecond. They get picked up in a millisecond. It's crazy, man. That being said, we mog regardless. God, I love pissing off the people who say sports ball. We're back with Inoffensive Isaac, people. It's Inoffensive Isaac. We love everybody. Let's get started. It feels good, right? It feels so good. Is Matthew Golden open? I don't need help at wide receiver, bro. We just said we got a glut at wide receiver. We need a little bit more consistency at RB2. Wide receivers chilling. We actually don't need more because it'd just be nice. That's a nice to have, not a need to have. You got me, bro. I'm one of those people that says sports ball. I feel bad. I feel bad for the sports ball heads because it turns out sports ain't going anywhere. And like, listen, don't take this the wrong way because we're all God's children. But I would much rather try to interface with another individual I don't know about sports talk than hear them talk about the dropout video that they just watched. If those are the two sides of the schism, put me on the jock side, even though, as we all know, I'm a little bit more of a nerd, but I would much rather hear about sports. I would much rather hear what the hell's going on in cricket this year. I could at least ask some questions. As far as when somebody starts talking to me about sports, I feel like it's because they want to communicate and relate. When someone starts talking to me about like a YouTube video they watched, I'm like, okay, nephew just wants to talk. And that's fine. Like, but you know, you don't necessarily need me. You just start a stream or something instead. What's wrong with dropout? College dropout? Haven't you heard the stuff this clown's been saying for the past few years, man? Haven't you heard the ignorant stuff coming out of this guy's mouth? Unk said keep it 300 like the Romans. He doesn't even know that 300 is about Sparta, which was a city-state in ancient Greece. Like the dude has he's off the pen right now. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Last night for the Dodgers was so painful. Oh, it's been almost 365 days since we won the World Series. Oh, it's been 2 weeks since our best player hit 3 home runs and struck out 10 batters in the same game. It was so painful to be a Dodgers fan. It's so hard. Come on, buddy. Let's just relax a little bit. Let's relax, okay? Okay, so like, I gotta give some respect to Blue Jays fans. A, I'm Canadian, so you gotta rep your guys. But B, they also had to deal with like 10 years of Greg Zahn at catcher, and then like 5 years of Greg Zahn on commentary. So like, let's give the Blue Jays their flowers here, okay? They've been through a lot. Alejandro Kirk is the truth. Honestly, if the Jays win the series, I think I'm getting an Ernie Clement jersey. Nothing but love for Vladdy. Nothing but love for Alejandro. I think Clement seems like my kind of dude, though. Used to be bad, now he's good. That was me and Isaac. Just looks like a normal guy, even though if I saw him in real life, it would probably be like the most fit individual I've ever seen in my entire life. And for some reason, bats like .083 in the regular season and .450 in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. It's just there's a vibe about it that I like. I figured you'd be a Davis Schneider head. I mean, it ended up being catastrophic for the Jays in Game 3, but I did love in like the bottom of the 10th when he got tagged out at home, and I went. He's trying to steal the La Casa. He tried to steal the La Casa. I don't know, man. I can't not see Dr. Disrespect when I look at him. As a Dodgers fan, we're so boned. Oh, it's so pathetic, man. You're heavily favored, even still that the series is tied, and you're trying to get this sad sack, like, maybe if I act like it's already over, the universe will reward my team with good karma. Bro, you already got Shohei Ohtani. You already got rewarded. It's actually like so spineless and pathetic. Just embrace, your team's good, embrace being the villains, man. You don't get to complain about like, oh, my team's awesome, but not everybody in the league thinks that we're the good guys, even though we're obviously the good guys. The worst part is, everybody also, like, they hate the Dodgers as an organization, but they like the players. So you could have it a lot worse, man. Could be the Yankees, where people hate the organization and the players. At least the Dodgers, everyone's like, yeah, they're kind of like ruining the sport, but at the same time, how can you not like Shohei Ohtani? I mean, the dude is just a machine that he goes out there, he hits home runs, and he strikes out batters, man. It's what's not to like? He's also a baddie. He's like a wide boy, complimentary. I mean that in a complimentary sense. It's rare to get a man that's in that good of shape that's that wide. I guess? What do you mean, I guess? He's wide, bro. What do you mean, I guess? Have you ever seen him? My man's got a wingspan. He's got breadth. Handshake from Paul Hollywood would go crazy. His name's Paul Hollywood and he's British? That's fucking awesome, man. That's like Drake London in reverse. Drake London is a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons in the National Football League. That one's for everyone out there who calls it sports ball. And he fucking sold this week by being injured. Except that he was on my opponent's team, so I don't have to, complain about that. It actually worked out pretty well. Fucked my whole shit up. I felt bad. It didn't make a material difference in the fight, but my opponent did have Drake London on an auto sub for a guy who was injured. So it was like, if that guy doesn't start Drake London, but then it auto subbed because that guy was injured, but then Drake London was also injured. Is everyone injured? Yeah, it's one thing I didn't really know about football is that like the average player actually plays like 40% of the games, and the rest of the time they're basically dead. They're basically dead the whole time. It's kind of like XCOM. Actually, that's a great way to describe it. And the other thing that's really funny especially in fantasy football is you'll see a dude have like a horrific injury, like his leg like bends the wrong way. And then the fantasy football app will be like, well, he's got a bye week next week, so we'll see if he heals up. Cam Skattebo was taken out with a horrific ankle injury. We encourage those of you with weak stomachs not to watch it. But on the bright side, the Giants, they got a 2-week break before their next game. Maybe someone will invent like a cybernetic foot in that time period. But you would never catch me tearing an oblique on a batting swing. I mean, that's Bush League stuff, man. Time added based on vibes is crazy. Can I say something though? The older I get, the more I'm like, shit that's stupid is smart. And I'll tell you why. Because it makes it interesting, man. If everything was logical, sports would be boring. Why don't we just, okay, here, a lot of people, and I noticed this in fantasy football, a lot of people think the season ends at the draft, man. They go, look at this, the AI said I had an A+ draft. I must have done incredibly. The draft doesn't even matter, man, because nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. It turns out, and it took me a while to learn this, what actually matters is the waiver wire. It's the waiver wire and sit-start. If you dedicated more time to the waiver wire than you did to draft prep, you might be in a good spot. We were telling you this. To be fair, my draft was fucking cracked. And, well, okay, listen, I was having a hot streak on the waiver wire, but I don't know what the fuck I was on, man. Why did I submit a waiver claim for Carson Wentz? The fuck was wrong with me? I was like, give me. I've had Carson Wentz on my team like 9 times this year, and I don't even think I've ever started him. But I add him for a week, and then I drop him, and the next week I'm like going back to the fridge for more Wentz, man. I don't know. He's a stud on the bench, but apparently he's out for the season. But also, I think the reason that I did it is because all of my quarterbacks were questionable. But it looks like Kylo Ren and the Bryce is Right are actually going to play this week. So, not to mention C.J. Stroud. So we got a squad. I did draft Anthony Richardson, thinking that Daniel Jones was going to wash out as the Colts quarterback. That's not my finest. Not my finest draft move for sure. But if I don't know ball, bro, I'm like 4th in the league or something like that. I'm 4th out of 12. If I don't know ball, then these guys are complete troglodytes. Fantasy football update? Yeah, I'll let you know. Fantasy football update. Hardest decision this week. In the flex position, do you start Jordan Addison with JJ McCarthy coming back? Because he's kind of had a little synergy with Pete Wentz from Fallout Boy. But Addison's been, why are people saying absolutely not? Addison's been good, man. I mean, I think he only got 1 target last week, but it was like a 78-yard touchdown or something like that. And then the other option is T. Higgins. And I know you're going to say T. Higgins, but he's had a few good weeks. He's got a little synergy with Flacco lately. Don't get me wrong. He's playing a stronger pass defense because he's going up against, I think he's going up against the Bears. I can't remember who Addison's going up against, but like I'm fucking set on wide receivers, man. Pickens, wide receiver 3. Michael Pittman Jr., wide receiver 7. And then I'm sorry, I know what you're going to say. I can't not play Marvin Harrison Jr. against the Cowboys, the 32nd ranked pass defense in the NFL, especially if Kylo Ren's coming back. I can't not play Marvin Harrison Jr. against the Cowboys, man. And I trust him so much, I'm putting him in wide receiver 1 slot. I hate hearing about your leagues because you're playing against plumbers and accountants. How do you have JSN, Justin Jefferson, Rome Odunze, and George Pickens? Odunze and Pickens make sense to me because you could scoop them in like mid rounds. But how did you get JSN? And I've now forgotten who the other guy was. But you're not Justin Jefferson and JSN. Aren't those like 2 top 5 wide receivers in the draft? JSN in round 3. Holy cow. 4-person league. People dropping players to make room during off weeks. That's even worse, man. You say it like that makes it better, but that's even worse. Like who's like, Justin Jefferson's on a bye this week. I'll just drop him. What the hell are you talking about, man? Dropping A.J. Brown this week? You should have dropped him week 1, to be honest. Nah, he's kind of back. Anyway. That feels good. That feels good for a loss. Unlike, I'm sure, the Dodgers feel. Like, can somebody tell me why? This is no disrespect to Blake Snell. Top of the 7th, bro's throwing wet noodles out there. He had like 5 wild pitches. Why the hell are you leaving him in? Oh, we need to get the out so we can put a fresh arm in to play Vladdy. Okay, how did that go for you, bro? Get him out. He's just throwing. I get that the catcher was also not catching the balls, okay? But at the same time, he was doing pretty well considering bro just got slapped at the Oscars recently. He could have died, bro. I'm from Long Island. That's cool. Matthew Schaefer he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Also, Bo Horvat. I got no bad blood for Bo Horvat anymore. Ever since he said, I'll tell you that for free, it's better to be in New York than Vancouver, and then his team missed the playoffs when we made the playoffs. That's water under the bridge now. And it's especially water under the fridge because he's on my fantasy team, and he's been doing pretty good. He's been doing pretty good. By the way, does the Dodgers manager... Do they know that like they don't legally have to play Anthony Bonda once per game? Like it's literally they're playing that guy in relief the same way you play like a curse card in Slay the Spire. That's like, oh, I gotta get it out of my hand, otherwise it's gonna come back around. Dave Roberts doesn't know. Well, I don't know. It's like if Anthony Bonda's still in your bullpen at the end of the game, do you get like -2 runs or something like that? I'm not familiar with the game design in baseball. When will you admit you're wrong about the Colts? When they play a team that isn't a Mickey Mouse franchise. Who are they playing this week? Who's Michael Pittman scoring a touchdown against for me this week? I'm saving my freaking money, man. Steelers? Well, it's going to have to be a couple weeks ahead then, because it's I'm not saying they're going to win, but a win over the Steelers doesn't really necessarily prove much. And don't debase yourself by saying some shit like they're 5-3 or some shit like that. Look at the teams that they played the Browns twice, man. Who are you getting off waivers? I will always get baited by sports chat. I consider that's benevolent bait. Instead of trying to rage bait, you're whimsy maxing. So I'm getting baited, and the people that call football sports ball are getting very upset. But that's okay, because you take the good with the bad. But I got to tell you, I don't think I'm getting anybody on the waiver wire this week. I have a couple people I need to drop. If I was being smart, what I would do, I think I would drop my fringe RB that I picked up just because Gibbs was on a bye week, and I would look a couple weeks ahead to see who's either coming off injury or maybe like I could pivot on the defense a little bit, get a great defense matchup in like week 10. I think the next step for me, after I win both of the leagues this year, is I got to start looking more than 1 week in advance. I got to start planning my squad a little bit more in advance. But that we can wait till I got 3 trophies in the trophy case first. No TDing here, brother. Derrick Henry. Did you like the picture I sent you, Dan? I don't even remember who was the Ravens quarterback. They had a picture of Derrick Henry looking scared on the TV, and I snapped a photo because I know Dan's got him in fantasy. I said, POV, your coach just told you you're starting the Tyler Huntley. That's it. POV, you're the starting running back for the Ravens, and your coach just said they're starting Tyler Huntley under center. Oh, bro, get ready to learn Cam Skattebo. You're in trouble. What do you think about, sorry to the sports ball people again, what do you guys think about the Ravens-Dolphins today? Listen, the Ravens should be favored because Lamar's back, but doesn't it feel like kind of a trap game to you? Thinking the idea that the Ravens are destined to win just because Lamar is now back is going to fix all the problems with their defense? The Dolphins are not good. They are at home, though. They are at home. I don't know. I'm not saying I would pick the Dolphins, by the way. I'm just saying I wouldn't snap pick the Ravens. Dolphins are cooked. If they're so cooked, how come Jalen Waddle's scoring so many damn fantasy points for me? Can I get a couple bombs in here, bro? I know that's what Zay Flowers is saying, too, when Tyler Huntley's grabbing the snaps.
Golem, a noun meaning an...
All right. Backwards ass spell check today. That's a Squirtle. Wait, that's not what it's called. Scorigami. I was thinking there's probably been a 7-6 NFL game, but how crazy would it be if like there was a 6-7 NFL game within the next 2 months? Imagine if the Titans and the Raiders played with a final score of 6-7. That game would suck. Wasn't there? There was a 6-3, right? Like a year ago, there was a 6-3. Disastrous, man. That's true. 6-7 NHL game could happen. There was a 0-3 last year. That's going to make me fucking throw up. 0-3 is crazy. Vikings and Raiders 3-0. Raiders beat the Titans by like 20 points already. Who else did they beat? They beat the Pats? NFL's fucked up this year, man. I got to stop reading sleeper previews before I pick my fantasy lineup, bro. I have Mac Jones in the lineup. I say, hey, I know I set my lineup. Let's just get let's second guess ourselves really quick 3 minutes before the NFL games start. Oh, Mac Sleeper says that Mac Jones is a risky quarterback to start this week because if he fucks up the first couple of drives, Brock Purdy might just come back in. Well, that didn't fucking happen. Mac Jones went fucking apeshit. Bryce Young got the shit kicked out of him. And then CJ Stroud got concussed on like the 8th play of the game. He's Tua. With a fucking disaster, man. Gibbs laid down a stinker. Kenneth Walker III laid down a stinker. I said, the Seahawks are winning 106-3. Surely he's gotten at least 6 carries for 21 yards. Oh, did Charbonnet get all the fucking carries? No, Charbonnet's got like 19 yards. All they do is pass, man. All they fucking do is pass. Why the hell are you putting in Bryce Young? He literally gets like a twit longer stat line every single week. He goes 15 for 28 for 201 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 fumbles, 1 fumble recovered, 3 rushes for 6 yards. Like every time I look at Bryce Young, his stat line looks like a YouTuber making an apology. Like he gets one of everything, which is not good, by the way. It's not a good thing. Sauce Gardner to the Colts, huge, man. I don't know. Listen, I'll be honest. The only thing I know about football is from fantasy. So if you play defense, I don't know who you are or even care. I'm not 100% sure that you even play the game. Like literally, like a kicker is more valuable to me than a free safety. So I'm not saying it would be like the best for like the coaching. I'm sure probably like if you want to win the Super Bowl, you probably need to have a few like defensive players or whatever. But me personally, I think it's overrated. All I know is Jacoby Brisket was cooking last night. So you don't even watch the games? I watch some of the games, whatever's on the one channel I get that also plays football. But like I don't pay attention to the defense at all. I honestly, I'm not 100% sure that most of my NFL defense knowledge comes from playing like NFL Quarterback Club 98. So whenever I see like that a dude had like 13 sacks, I'm like, damn, he's like a scrub. In Quarterback Club 98, I was getting like 13 sacks a game, man. 13 sacks a game? Yeah, dude, you just do a fucking swim maneuver, get past the nose tackle, and all of a sudden, boom! You guys see Jackson Dart get sacked from behind? Holy, man. I can't believe they tried to skattebo my guy. Skattebo's soft. True. Skattebo's soft. Honestly, baby poop. It's like the NFL players these days are soft. You wouldn't catch me wearing a Guardian cap. Big head mode makes you easier to mark for the secondary. That's why Ladd McConkey is getting screwed in LA right now, man. They wouldn't be passing it to Keenan Allen and all the other receivers whose names I know if they'd just be giving it to McConkey, but McConkey's too easy to mark because of his big ass head, man. Sometimes people ask, why don't you talk about the CFL? And I brought it up in the Peloton Discord last night, but I've lived in Canada for 35 of my 36 years on this planet, and I don't think I've ever heard someone talk about the CFL ambiently outside. CFL still exists? Yeah. As far as I know, it's as popular as ever, which is like not very, but like, you know, God bless it for existing. Man's never been to a city in the prairies and it shows. So which one of the 2 cities in the prairies are we discussing here? So, well, that depends. Would you count Winnipeg? You might count Winnipeg. Even if every time they play an NFL game in Winnipeg, the B-roll is always of that fuck-ass creek next to the stadium. It's the Red River. It looks like a creek to me, sorry. But that's not really fair. It's not really fair because the creek next to our stadium is the Pacific Ocean. That's not true. I guess it's actually False Creek, but the Pacific Ocean just kind of down the street a little bit. Any Cowboys on the roster? Yep. Slim Pickens, also known as Week 3 Randy Moss, also known as Week 5 Randy Moss. This week was a total disaster, though. I got bodied in both leagues. It's gonna have to be that, and then it's gonna have to be that, man. It's gonna. You gotta let me know what grocery store you're going to that's playing like
Wegmans,
music
man.
that doesn't
Wegmans-
suck.
Wegman's going for it.
He's going to Wegmans. He's looking at the discounted Wagyu and listening to Love Fool.
Success, especially in this game.
It is very funny that they'll have like, you can get a Wagyu there for like $199. And then they'll be like, this expires tomorrow. Now it's $170. And then the next day it'll be like, this expires tomorrow. It's $165. I'm like, motherfuckers, I already know it expired.
I like the guy who wants high quality beef, but is willing to eat the Wagyu on the best before date. Exactly. It's like I want really, really good quality beef, but I'm not afraid to eat it 12 hours before it's unsafe. Nobody cares. Should I do it?
Should I do it is really funny. Just so you know.
It could mean ending my life, or it could mean engineering a trade for Chris Olave in fantasy. It could mean either.
Damn. The ESPN app's gotta fuck off, man. I'm in 2 leagues, and like in the fucking like money league I'm in, I'm getting rinsed. And when I opened the app to set lines this week, it was like, if you wouldn't have benched this person, you would have won.
That is crazy.
Fucking tell me that.
To say that.
Yeah.
I play Ryan this week.
That's true. It is looking pretty bad. If it's any consolation, it's no consolation now that I think about it. But in the other league, my QBs are Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Kyler Murray. So I picked up Dylan Gabriel on the waiver wire.
That might be a low-key crazy pick.
He's playing the Jets, and Bryce Young is playing the Giants, I think, or maybe the Saints.
How are the Jets doing? Are they the best?
They're the worst team in the NFL, I think.
And all of my friends who love the Jets are on like suicide watch every year.
Oh no!
Well, they did just trade away literally all of their players.
Is your title code for something, or is it just gibberish? You can really tell the box score readers versus the ball knowers. Ashton Jonty muscle memory kicked in when he anti-aired that ball. Ashton Jonty got a pass from Geno Smith right in his chest. Brother said he saw it coming from above and just went down heavy. He uppercutted it with a Shoryuken straight out of the air, shot it 30 feet into the air so the Broncos could intercept it.
You ruined everything.
Fuck. We gonna let him know.
Fuck that song.
We will let him know. Can I tell you who I hate the most on Thursday Night Football? I know nothing about him. I hate the tall, John Fetterman-looking motherfucker who wears the hoodie, like the mono-colored hoodie with the jacket, the blazer on top of it. I hate that. The blazer, the hoodie, and the sneakers. I hate that.
Every other song is like really high energy and like it's football time, and this one's just like football.
Bring back Hank Williams Jr.
No,
Was the score of the
no.
Was it 10-7?
I don't even have to know his name to know who you're talking about. To be fair, the Sunday Night Football theme was good, but they've changed it so many times that it sucks ass now. Like imagine this, it's been on the air for like 30 fucking years or whatever, and every year they change like one note, so like 30 years later, like every note is different because they won't stop changing it. And it's just the worst song. It is literally, you're right, it is. It's the song of Theseus, man.
How did you get that wrong?
Shut up. It's not all about you, dude. I should change outfits. Clear it up, boys. Hello, anybody out there? Can you hear me? I can hear you just fine. Boston is bad. Good luck. Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. People dancing. This guy sucks, dude. Laughing, a man selling people laughing. That's where you're right. Singing Italian song. My turn now. E compare sivo snarri. Can you dig it? Yes, I can, and I dummy doesn't scat over top of my own lyrics. Another day in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. Another day in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. People talking, really smiling. A man playing guitar and singing for us all. Will you help him change the world? Can you dig it? Yes, I can. I've been waiting such a long time for Saturday. I got the word wrong. Slow motion riders fly the colors of the day. Bronze man still can tell stories his own way. Listen, children, all is not lost. Oh yeah, all is not lost. No, no, no. Don't make me sing the bridge. I only listen to the Does this guy ever shut up? Don't make me sing the bridge. Give that to player 2 if I'll take it. Funny days in the park, and every day's the 4th of July. Not possible. Funny days in the park, and every day's the 4th of July. And Canada Day too. People reaching, people touching, a real celebration, waiting for us all. If we want it, really want it, can you dig it? Yes, I can, and I've been waiting such a long time for the day. That seemed okay. That didn't seem too bad. That didn't seem that bad. I hope you did well